12.63 at Savatthi, Buddha said, monks, there are these 4 kinds of nutriment for the maintenance of beings that have already come to be, and for the assistance of those about to come to be. But 4, the nutriment edible food, gross or subtle. 2nd, contact. 3rd, volition. 4th, consciousness. These are the 4 kinds of nutriment for the maintenance of beings that have already come to be, and for the assistance of those about to come to be. And how, monks, should the nutriment edible food be seen? Suppose a couple, husband and wife, had taken limited provisions and were traveling through a desert. They have with them their only son, dear and beloved. Then, in the middle of the desert, their limited provisions would be used up and exhausted, while the rest of the desert remains to be crossed. The husband and wife would think, our limited provisions have been used up and exhausted, while the rest of this desert remains to be crossed. Let us kill our only son, dear and beloved, and prepared dried and spiced meat. By eating our son's flesh, we can cross the rest of this desert. Let not all 3 of us perish. Then, monks, the husband and wife would kill their only son, dear and beloved, prepare dried and spiced meat, and by eating their son's flesh, they would cross the rest of the desert. While they are eating their son's flesh, they would beat their breasts and cry, where are you, our only son? Where are you, our only son? What do you think, monks? Would they eat that food for amusement or for enjoyment, or for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness? No, Venerable Sir. Wouldn't they eat that food only for the sake of crossing the desert? Yes, Venerable Sir. It is in such a way, monks, that I say the nutriment edible food should be seen. When the nutriment edible food is fully understood, lust for the 5 chords of sensual pleasure is fully understood. When lust for the 5 chords of sensual pleasure is fully understood, there is no factor bound by which a noble disciple might come back again to this world. I stop here for a moment. So the Buddha says, food should be considered in that way. We owe a debt to others, other beings, that we have to eat at the expense of their lives. So if we consider like that, then we are not greedy. And then also we make good use of our life to benefit ourselves and to benefit others. Not live our life aimlessly. A lot of people, because they don't understand the Dhamma, they live their life aimlessly and they never get out of samsara. Not to get out of samsara is not so bad. The only problem is they'll be falling to the woeful plains again and again to suffer. So the Buddha says, when you have understood the nutriment edible food in this way, then the lust for the sensual pleasure, you will reduce your lust for sensual pleasure, because you know the longer we live and enjoy life, the more we hurt others. This, as they say, is a dog-eat-dog world. Each person survives at the expense of others. And how, monk, should the nutriment contact be seen? Suppose there is a flayed cow. That means a skin cow, a cow with the skin removed. If she stands exposed to a wall, the creatures dwelling in the wall would nibble at her. If she stands exposed to a tree, the creatures dwelling in the tree would nibble at her. If she stands exposed to water, the creatures dwelling in the water would nibble at her. If she stands exposed to the open air, the creatures in the open air would nibble at her. Whatever that flayed cow stands exposed to, the creatures there would nibble at her. It is in such a way, monks, that I say the nutriment contact should be seen. When the nutriment contact is fully understood, the 3 kinds of feeling are fully understood. When the 3 kinds of feeling are fully understood, I say there is nothing further that a noble disciple needs to do. Let's stop here for a moment. This refers to our 6 sense bases. At the 6 sense bases, contact means contact with external sense object. That means for the eye, is forms. Forms will make contact with us. Sounds will make contact. Smells, taste, touch, and thoughts would make contact. And when it makes contact, then feeling arises. This feeling can be pleasant, can be unpleasant, can be neutral. But when the unpleasant feeling arises, then we feel pain. So each time unpleasant feeling arises, we feel pain. So in the same way, just like the contact touching us gives rise to painful feelings. So this cow with the skin removed, every time the little creatures come into contact with her body, and then she feels pain. So then the Buddha says that is how we should understand contact. So you see, this contact comes at the six sense doors. Okay, and these six sense doors, whenever the six sense consciousness arises, the world arises. So the world at the six senses always gives us pleasant and unpleasant feelings, and neutral feelings. The pleasant feelings, however much we experience, is never enough. But when the unpleasant feelings arise, we cannot stand. Okay, so that's why the world is called a world of suffering. Samsara is a world of suffering. So a liberated person, the Arahant, does not like to dwell in the world of the six senses, in the world of the six consciousness. An Arahant, if you look into the suttas, after they have become liberated, they constantly, every day, abide in jhana. When a monk abides in jhana, he goes into his mind. He withdraws from the world of the six senses, because the world of the six senses is an unpleasant world. It's a world of suffering. Okay? So Arahant constantly abides in his mind. So there are some people who don't understand. They say monks who like to abide in jhana, not seeing reality, running away from reality, trying to, just like some people renounce, and people who don't understand, worldly people say, this person renounced to become a monk, he's running away from reality, not facing the world and all that. It's rubbish, because the world is not a pleasant place at all. That's why the Buddha says, even to exist for a moment more, he doesn't want. The Buddha says, the world to him is like shit, excrement is stated in the suttas. So a wise man will go back into our mind. That is our original home, as Ajahn Chah says, going back to our original home.